Nebraska is poised to pass LB 574. In fact, it may be passed by the time this episode airs. We're recording Wednesday, airs Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time every single week. Tune in. Rumble, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Outlaw Streamers. Don't be jealous of all my plugs. I see you over there mocking me. LB 574 poised to pass in Nebraska, which would ban quote-unquote gender-affirming care for kids. That's the way they like to package it. The reality is it would make it so you can't chop your kids up no more to virtue signal for your online friends. I think it's a good law. Michaela Cavanaugh, the state senator and Jabba the Hutt impersonator, said in reaction to this that we need to, quote, burn it down. And then she doubled down. She said, burn it down again. This is all on Twitter, right? This is all, you can go check this for you unless she's deleted it. Of course, she'd have to put the Haagen-Dazs and Cheetos down for a second to go delete a tweet, so I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe that's a little irresponsible as an elected official to say, hey, you've got a group of people objectively mentally unstable. Maybe it's a little irresponsible to go, hey, burn the state capitol down. Because as we've seen, they tend to take these things literally because their brains are rotted and poisoned to the point they can't think objectively for themselves. Burn it down. They call us the sore losers, but every time they don't get their way, they threaten mass shootings or to burn the Capitol down. Well, hypocritical, but they don't play by the same rule book as us. An angry mob surrounded the legislators as they were leaving the Capitol last week, screaming just profanity at them. They had to leave through the back door, the legislators that voted yes to this. Now, of course, the grifters like Michaela Cavanaugh and Megan Hunt came out and said they didn't want to face their constituents. By constituents, they mean the angry mob filled with, statistically speaking, a higher percentage of mentally unstable people than any other group in the country, most of which are on psychotropic drugs, and recent history has shown are a little prone to violence. That's what they meant. Not their constituents. A crazy, angry mob that could spark to violence at any moment. Do you want to know why I know that angry mob could have resorted to violence at any given moment if those senators walked out through them? Because you had senators like Michaela Cavanaugh saying, burn it down. So maybe when you've got an angry mob of hundreds of people, those are the only 300 people in the state that actually support these procedures, by the way. When you have an angry mob of hundreds of people, hundreds of pedophiles, outside, they're not all pedophiles, just most of them. So that way it's not slander. So no one can say I particularly said they were a pedophile. It's just like 95% of them. You have to figure out the 5% that weren't. You have you have an angry mob of pedophiles screaming, acting unhinged, because as we showed in the videos at the beginning, these people are not very mentally stable. Maybe it's not a great idea to say, hey, burn it down. Especially, 3 years ago when they actually did burn buildings down. The left has the radical left, which is most of them, has a documented history of burning things down when they're upset because they're the sore losers. But I was talking with someone about this today. The radical left, I'm just going to start calling them the left because there's no difference. Because when you see groups that are largely considered to be the radical right, like the Ku Klux Klan, the Nazis, people, far-right Aryan Brotherhood type groups, no one I know on the right identifies with those people. I don't even consider them conservatives. I think they're nuts. I have the Nazis, the Ku Klux Klan, they don't represent me. I don't agree with anything they say. I don't know anyone on the right that goes, yeah, well, they're a little wild out there, but they're part of our group. No, I don't know anyone that thinks that. But on the left, you got people that want to butcher up kids. You've got just full-blown communists and Marxists. You've got pedophile apologists. You name it. You got people that want to be able to abort babies after they're born. And they embrace those people as their own. They're like, yeah, they're crazy, but we need as many votes as we can get. They're part of the left. They're part of the movement. It's different. You embrace your crazies. We go, no. We don't want nothing to do with them. I don't know one conservative that is cool with being associated with the KKK, that considers them to be any part of the conservative movement. But I know a lot of liberals that want to chop up kids that aren't far left, or they weren't. So you're just the left. You're not the radical left. Last up on that issue, Jane Klebe, the head of the Nebraska Democratic Party, she implied in a tweet that we're going to make up for this at the ballot box, she said. So she's saying that trans surgeries for kids will be the Nebraska Democratic Party's hot button issue in 2024. Sorry, I was just having a moment of silence for their hopes of winning any elections in this state. If that's your big issue in Nebraska.
Get that son of a bitch off the field right now. Out. He's fired. He's fired.
That's your big issue. Trans surgeries for kids. That's going to be a winning strategy in Alliance, Nebraska. Okay. All right. If you say so. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you can actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.